The week ahead of us is packed with quarter results and financial data. It's going to be a wild ride. Of that, I am pretty sure. You are listening to the StockInvest.us podcast Trading Tips with Jim, where I last week told you that I thought Tesla would do good. And Tesla did deliver, and Tesla had just a fantastic week. The result was able to bring Nasdaq to a positive close. Nasdaq ending up 0.16% only, as most companies actually fell during the week. Nasdaq currently sitting at 18,519 points, again getting close to all-time high. But will this week be the week it will break, or will it fail? Dow Jones, for instance, did not have a good week at all, down 2.69% for Dow Jones. And we know, as I said, most companies actually fell. And the reason I mentioned Tesla last week was not only because they had the quarter results, but as you know, I went back into NEO in the $1,000 challenge, where I'm trying to grow $1,000 as fast as I can. Currently we are sitting, or before I reveal, last week we were sitting at $2,917. As you might remember, we were up close to 4,000, but two bad trades in a row put us back to 2,917. How did the NEO trade go? Because I bought, as I said, I will again try to go into NEO, and I was hoping good Tesla quarter results would pull NEO during the week, make it a good investment. We'll get back to that in just a bit. First off, like, subscribe. It's important if you want this channel to grow. And if you're a new listener, I'm happy to see you here, and I hope you will enjoy the next few minutes. So what is waiting in the week ahead? Well, as I said, it will be tons of quarter results. And you can see at our page StockInvest.us, you can see how much we expect the different stocks to move while just after quarter results. Take a company like Advanced Micro, which will have quarter results coming up. We expect them to move plus minus 5%. So if you are in a leverage position and you can only handle 2%, maybe you should think twice, or be very, very certain in which direction you think AMD will go on quarter results. And today, we can just start today, there will be Ford and Philips and Waste Management, a company which I think can hold some future gains. Waste Management, you have to understand that we will get back to green things, we will get back to environment. We just need to get past the big hype, which was then the natural fall, and still we have to take care of these things in the future. And in that sense, I think Waste Management will be one of the companies that might do good in that sense moving forward. Also, the reason why, for instance, I go into NEO, or why I'm into EVs in general, as I told you, I believe in Tesla and NEO when it comes to EV, is because I believe this to be the future. We had fossil cars, then we had the hybrids, we had the electric hype, which of course had to come to an end because it was way too overhyped. But in the meantime, logistics, everything is building out, and the future is indeed have to take care of some of these pollution issues, especially in big cities, and here electric vehicles just speak for themselves. Tomorrow will be job opening numbers, JOLTS numbers. They are expected to come in at 7.9 million. Just that being said, straight up, when it comes to economic numbers, remember it's very, very close to US election. I believe all numbers to be on the positive side. I cannot believe that they will post negative numbers this close to election. We will have tons of revision after election of that, I'm pretty sure. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I will be right, we will see. But as I also said, I believe interest rates will go sky high again. I was the first to say that interest rates will go up when everyone said they will go down. I said interest rates will go up. I also was first maybe a few others as well about inflation so many years ago, how inflation will rage us, and we are heading back towards that scenario. It doesn't matter who wins the US election, we are simply heading back, in my opinion, to that scenario with increased interest rates. And already you can read that now they will delay. I saw Norway, they will, for instance, delay cut of interest rates, etc. There many argue, so we just finished this argument, many argue that, well, the weakening in the economy, because we see strong weakening in the economy, Germany, for instance, we see a lot of numbers in US also going the wrong direction, you are always presented with good numbers in the media, etc., but you have to look a little closer and you see that, for instance, credit card debt is at the highest and delinquency is the highest ever. These things, they speak by themselves, and you read weekly about big companies cutting their stores, reducing the amount of stores, reshaping. All of these things, it has to come. Yes, the government is spending tons of money and they're hiring as fast as they can into governmental sectors. But remember, government very seldom produce anything other than services, meaning that there is no real growth in whatever government do. It's just a service sector to serve you. Take your tax money and then they serve you based on this to give you whatever they want to give you, but there is no real, you have to be in the private sector. That is where the economy grows and where the upside for economy really is. And we see a huge shift where government grows, private is reducing, the profit margins is going down. As I said, this will be the quarter results week, and I believe that you will see more of the same. So far, I think it was 37% of all tech companies have delivered their quarter results so far, and they are coming in at the lower end. The growth is simply not the same. And I just argue, look at your own wallet, look at how things are going. If you feel the stress, most others should feel the stress, including companies. So we will have the JOLT numbers, very interesting, but as I said, I don't trust any of these numbers coming up to, I believe it just will be huge revisions later. So you might think now, okay, conspiracy theories, but it doesn't matter who was or is in the government. I think no matter who was sitting right now, I think the job numbers simply would be at the best they can be. It's again, we will just see revisions. Hopefully I'm wrong, of course, but my guess is I will see huge revisions afterwards. And yes, government will try to stimulate by lowering interest rates. It's the natural way to do it, but they cannot do it if inflation at the same time is going sky high. And the big argument here, and many of you have heard this over and over again, but the big argument here is how we have split the world in two. We have BRICS. You heard me talk about BRICS over and over again for 2 or 3 years or whatever. I've been talking about BRICS. Finally, now you see it in the news. They had a huge summit, and finally you can finally see it, and it's just not something me and other people are saying. You can see it in the news, and they are starting to treat it. They press everything and minimize it, and Blinken, for instance, he tried to minimize it, but you shouldn't trust Blinken at all, in my opinion. It's maybe one of the worst ministers ever to be seen having a position like he has. BRICS is growing and they are getting stronger by the day. You heard about Russian sanctions, and I told you this will backfire heavily. And look at Germany right now, how these things are hurting Germany. Germany, very energy independent, suddenly have to pay much more for their energy. The benefiters, Norway, for instance, I'm a Norwegian. Norway is laughing all the way to the bank for the good energy prices. Opening new gas lines to Germany the day after the pipelines were blown up. US, the same thing, started to export lots and lots of gas at higher prices, at premium prices. Germany is suffering from these things. German car industry is for sure suffering from these things. It's taking a toll, and Russia is not bankrupt at all. Yes, high interest rates in Russia right now, but their economy is growing. So this dividing world into two is not good. What happens if BRICS, for instance, do all their trades, most of the trades inside BRICS? They focus less on the world, more on their internal markets. Prices should go up. You have to know, for instance, that China has been subsidizing their industries to compete in Europe and US, subsidizing the car industry, subsidizing more or less every cheap shit you ever bought from China has been subsidized in the order to create China the market it is in terms of back-end market, in terms of producing goods. So what happens if these cheap prices suddenly go away? Well, we will have to see. Next year is a new year, and I believe that we will see what I'm saying will come to true. That prices will go up, and that will leave them with less choice of lowering interest rates. About these things is also a little bit about where you put your money to expect the growth. Which industries can handle still high interest rates? If you're a dividend player, for instance, now your company, does it have a huge debt level? Will the debt level be able to be handled in a professional way? Or will they have to start to cut dividend, for instance? These thoughts that you should make up in maybe how you restructure your dividend portfolio for years to come. The 10-year treasury yield went up last week by 3.78%, currently sitting almost at all-time high in last decade at 4.23. We are up at levels which were scary not so many months ago, and I see it mentioned more in the news that the professionals, they believe that interest rates may not actually go down as fast as we believe, and maybe even go up. Actually, the professionals are betting the other way. Continue quarter results. Google will come tomorrow on Tuesday. AMD, BP, Chipotle, McDonalds, Pfizer, PayPal, Snap, and Visa. And that being said, Snap is one small favorite of mine, and the reason is that Snap took some heavy losses some quarters back. I think they did some management restructuring of their management, and I think it will show back. That's my thing. That last week I said I think Tesla might do good. I will not be surprised if Snap actually will have some good quarter results. Coca-Cola will also be coming with quarter results. The expected move there is 3% on the numbers. Now, then we go to Wednesday, and Wednesday will be yet a huge day. And the main reason for this is that we get GDP numbers. The growth is expected to be 3%, like last quarter. The quarter growth percent is expected to come in at 3%. Again, I don't believe numbers will be bad. I believe they will be on the upper end. That's just my guess. We will continue with quarter results. Coinbase will come. Microsoft will come. Meta will come. And RobinHood, Starbux was struggling a lot. They have done a lot of rechanging of their business. I'm not sure if it will be enough. I'm not sure it will be enough. I think maybe Starbux has more problems ahead before they are able to turn the ship. Cutting down a lot of shops, restructuring everything. They are trying to go the cheap way to offer people. We started to see the coffee latte going up at $7, $8, $9, $10 for a cup of coffee. Now they are trying to go back to some cheap offers to bring in that. McDonald's did the same, by the way. McDonald's will be Tuesday. I didn't mention McDonald's, but McDonald's will be Tuesday. Very interesting to follow these companies. Let's continue for Thursday. Thursday we'll have jobless claims numbers. We will have Pfizer, Apple, Amazon, Intel, MasterCard, Norwegian Cruise Line will also be as Thursday. As you see, big players will come, and if some of these or more of these are on the lower side, it will take a toll on the market. Remember last week, Nasdaq barely managed to go in plus thanks to the huge rally in Tesla. Hopefully some of these companies will really push into way green and help the market, but my strong feeling is that it will be hard. Finishing Friday with non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate for September will come on Friday, expected to be 4.1, and I just simply see it to be this or even better and be revised later. We will see. Chevron and Exxon on oil will come. While speaking about oil fell by 2.9% since last week, down $2, currently traded at $68. I am personally into a few companies, and I was betting that Israel would strike harder back on Iran. But during the weekend and before the weekend, the oil price was up at $74 before the weekend. And Israel did their retaliation against Iran, but very, very conservative in my opinion. They didn't hit the oil installations. US asked them not to do that. And they didn't hit nuclear plants. US also asked them to do that. So it was more or less some military show off, doing some military sites that they hit back. Iran has sworn that they will do, but Middle East and escalation, which I told about last week, that the card which now is left is how Israel will respond. Now they have responded, meaning that there is, in my opinion, maybe settled for a slow week in the geopolitical terms. There is issues blowing up everywhere. Taiwan is again coming up on the map. US sent a weapon package to Taiwan. China says that this they cannot tolerate and they will retaliate somehow. We know the warmongers, they are drumming as hard as they can. Why you still should stay in war stock? And that's been my argument for the last 4 years. That's where the growth is in the war. You elected a warmonger in US, and until you get someone with a total different view, an administration with a total different view, you can just expect wars and more wars in the world. We are slowly heading for World War III. Sadly, everything is brewing in that direction. We need something majorly to change it, and that will only come with new administration coming in, or if current sitting administration change their political view and go for peace instead of all these war. We believe, or at least I and many with me believe, that the war industry is the place to be still, and that's where you will have some of the best dividends in years to come. Every single country is growing up their armory. That has to come from somewhere. You just have to figure out who from whom. And if the main stock, let's say the main ammunition producer, is starting to become very high in terms of PE ratio, for instance, so who is the next in line to deliver to these companies? Because there are sub-companies delivering parts to these companies. Kongsberg Automotive in Norway been doing so fantastic. Good was one of my top choices many years ago, seeing how things went. More to come in Kongsberg. I believe Kongsberg will hold very good for a long time. We will just have to see how things play out. Gold, my favorite gold, is up at 2,751. Don't seem to be an end in the upturn of gold. My new target after we hit 2,005, which was my first target, is $3,500. That's where I think gold will head in the next few months. What will happen in the week ahead of us? Sum it up. As you heard, tons and tons of quarter results will be coming. You can check at Stock Invest or my test site, getagraph.com. You can see what the expected swing is. Just to mention one other company like Apple, we expect Apple to have a swing of 2.4% based on the quarter results. So not the biggest swings expected for Tesla. It was like 10 times higher for for Apple, but it was like 10 times higher for Tesla when Tesla had quarter results. You will find this, what you can expect the stock to swing. Anyway, you should check your stocks to make sure that you know when quarter results are, because you can expect movement before, during, and after quarter results. Also, you will find this tool at stockinvest.us. We provide you with how the stock has been moving in the previous 4 quarters. Conclusion is, it will be so many heavy lifters coming with results. I expect the market intraday and during the week as well to move a lot up and down as quarter results are coming in, and the big players are adjusting their portfolios accordingly. I just expect it to be very, very volatile week. The end of the week may be positive, but there are signs in the chart that we are now heading for the expected down turn. When it comes to National Stock Exchange of India, well, it broke down the support line, which was a surprise to me, and totally oversold on the relative strength index, but seems to be struggling a bit. Nasdaq holding well, lots and lots of support below today's level, but some really bad heavy lifters, bad results from heavy lifters can easily push this downwards. For the week ahead of us, I believe it will be a red week. That's my opinion, and just let's hope that it will be different. I think in general it will be hard for most stocks during the week. We will see. It will be a very interesting week. Now, 21 minutes into the podcast, time for the $1,000 challenge. And last week I told you I want to go back into NIO. I think NIO is undervalued. I think there is an upside in NIO. Argued many reasons for this, about how I think EV will develop. And in this $1,000 challenge, I have to pick stocks which I think can grow very, very hard. So it's a high risk game. It's not the best. I should have went into Tesla last week, had 25-30% gain by now. But the choice was between NIO and Tesla. I selected NIO because NIO should, in my opinion, swing even more than Tesla. I also said that I had a new tool. I showed you the tool in the YouTube video. You have to go back to watch it, where it predicts best time of the day to buy, and it said the best time of the buy on Monday would be by the end of the day. And so I did. I was very tired by the end of the day, so I didn't wait till the final moment, but I bought some 1.5 hours before exchange closing. And I posted on YouTube, as I promised, that I bought NIO at 5.10, 5.1, $5.10 I gave for NIO. I put all the $2,917.11 back into NIO. Rounded a little bit because I was not able to get totally exactly. But I am into NIO, and NIO had a week up and down. Friday was especially good when it went up 5.6%. In total, NIO currently sitting at 526 means that the bet into NIO is currently up 3.78%, bringing the portfolio back over $3,000 to $3,008. Not too much. I was hoping much more from Tesla. Looking at the chart absolutely tells me that there is a huge potential upside in NIO. A few worrisome signs can contradict these things, but in general I will hold mostly on the card that NIO is following, the volume is following the price. Meaning every time NIO goes up, volume goes up. Whenever NIO goes down, volume goes down. It's a very, very good technical sign. Volume is on the way up, oversold on relative strength index. Just got the buy signals from the short-term moving average, still sell signal from the long-term moving average, and the relationship between these two. But I think there is a potential upside. I see a possibility of going all the way to $6.5 during the week. Has to go through the resistance at $5.5 and not too much support below, so easily we can have, giving a very bad day, we can easily see NIO back at 4.5 $5, even crawling all the way to $4. So there is no free meal in this game. We are talking high risk, but I see higher chance of upside. So NEO is still on. NEO will be the play of the week. Well, that's it. I can feel it's not the best podcast of the week. I even forgot to mention the buy and sell signals that we have for all the stocks. I believe it's 47,000 stocks now, right now 31% is giving buy signals, is down from last week, and this thing goes across all markets. Nasdaq down from 21 to 16% buy signals is still not low enough to trigger a major buy signals. New York Stock Exchange down from 43 to 29, London from 32 to 25, Frankfurt from 56 to 47, Tokyo from 18 to 9, starting to get buy signals again in Asia, by the way. So there might come up some good Asian buy trades very, very soon. So the buy signals, they are falling, just indicating the same thing I said, that most companies actually fell during the week. It was a hard week to make money for most people, unless you were in the stocks that were going up, and Tesla was one of the big companies able to pull the market. I hope you will have a perfect week. I hope that you will be back next week, that you will like, subscribe, help the podcast grow. More than anything, I hope your portfolio will be much greener by the end of the week than in the beginning of the week. Bye.
Welcome to StockInvest.US Stock Analysis. We remind you that trading involves a high risk of losing money, and that you should speak with a financial advisor before buying or selling any securities. You should not base your investment decision upon StockInvest.US. By using the information, you agree and are held liable for your own investment decisions.